Fellas, how's it going? Welcome to patch day. So the main thing about the patch is Xbalanque is here, which is cool. I love Shiba in Smite 1. Honestly, very plain and simple hunter, but was very fun. So we'll look into that in a moment. We've also got some new skins. New Artemis skin looks pretty cool, and we look Smite 1, that really ugly one from Smite 1. Sorry for flaming if anyone enjoys it, obviously. Hopefully they made it look better, so we'll take a quick look at that quickly. Okay, so first of all we have the feline fashion skin. It looks a lot better, I will say. I'm sure I can get a picture of the old one, but that was quite low res. The Smite 1, obviously. The tiger looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Also comes with the, what's it called? The prism skins. We have a white prism skin, a purple one, purple, nice, purple passion, and then finally cat burglar, probably the coolest one, obviously. Normally is the fourth one is the cool one. This is called Snowfall Chic. And pumpkin for the reaping event. And finally you have a ward skin, which is a cat with a pumpkin. Very cool. Very cool. You can get all of that for normal premium adventures. Also in the Traveller's Collections we have the Smite Cart bundle, which is, I believe, the game mode from Smite 1. I played that a lot just to try and get stuff back in the day. So you got Afro's cart, Sun Wukong, who's got the damn Wario logo on the front, very cool luchador type cart. We got Zeus's cart here, nothing really special about that, and the Apollo cart is a standard one. Obviously you also get another pumpkin, a clumsy birthday badge, icon, and the racer title with this Traveller. Very cool. Moving on, we have a new saga. We'll start with the skins, obviously. Cool thing about this saga is you get the Frostwarden White Frost Sentry Artemis skin. Obviously looks very cool, very fitting for the Artemis, for Artemis as a whole. I'm guessing this is the board that she summons. And here is a very cool skin, very cool Snowflake. Reminds me of Demon Slayer's Infinity Castle, mild spoilers, but the logo that the upper three has, it's very cool. Anyway, yeah, this skin's kind of cool. My take on it, quite basic for what it is, but it's still a very pretty skin. Here are our colorways, our prisms again. Black Ice, very cool. Makes it almost infinitely better. Ember Herald as well, same sort of stuff. More fiery skin, and Neon Mirage makes it like a Fae colorway, and then Astral Empress, very cool galaxy type shit. Honestly, all the colorways are good. I would say an arguable improvement on the original. To be honest, I didn't even notice the horns, but the horns I feel really stand out in these colorways. Moving on to page 3, this is where it gets good, obviously. This makes it significantly better, in my opinion. Things are starting to kick off. Frostwarden kill effect, is that right? Not sure what that does, but cool. Here's the card effect and the title Frostwarden. Here's the colorways again for all 4 skins. Blah, blah, blah. Once again, they are looking fabulous, and you can also get the recall effect for the colorways. Finally, you have the final form. Let me double check that. Yeah. Finally, you have the final form. This OTT, but you know, kind of like that. The aura I feel whoa, it makes it hard to look at with my eyes, but god, it's a glorious skin. I like all of the effects. I like the frost effect, and then going on to the last page, you can get the colorways on all 4 of those skins. Wowee. Yeah, phenomenal. And this is kill effect of the colorways, not that you can see that. Lovely. And that concludes our skin. Oh wait, hang on, my bad boys, there's one more skin that has been released. I need to try find it. Here it is. The Gleaming Archer Huyi. It's a cross-gen skin from Smite 1. I personally not a huge fan. His legs are like so skinny, his proportions feel a bit whack, but it is a very cool skin. Just shout out to Gleaming Archer Huyi skin. Right, let's look at the patch notes. So obviously I'm going to come back to Xbalanque in a moment. Here are the skins that we've shown off, the Wandering Market that we've shown off, and the game modes. So Conquest, the Cyclops Warrior Camp now drops Cyclops Eye instead of the Cyclops Ward. Cyclops Ward was just a ward that you could put in the map. The Cyclops Eye just reduces the active cooldown for your Curio by 50%. Very cool. Anyway, wondering what Curios are looking ahead, a new item slot. So Curios are mode specific items that everyone in that mode has access to. These don't take up your standard inventory slots and function more like the bonus starter item. Very cool. They're automatically granted to play and do not require purchase. Items in the Curio slot are actives that occupy an active item slot. If you attempt to buy a third active item, the Curio slot will be disabled. Very interesting. It will default to the second active slot for keybind purposes. So that will be cool. I'm sure you'll see a significant change in builds because, you know, if you're losing a Curio slot, I guess it depends how strong Curios are. But we'll get to that in a second. But losing a Curio slot over an active item seems a bit strange. Moving on, we'll see what these Curios actually are. So in Conquest, Joust and Duel, we get the Bifrost Shard. This just places a ward. Lasts 90 seconds and its cooldown is 90 seconds. Great, because now we won't be wasting money buying wards in Joust if all 3 of us are placing wards. Guess you'd only ever want it for a sentry ward. How sentry wards break that, I don't know. And it looks like you can sell the Bifrost ward to buy different Bifrost Shard, Curio, to buy different wards. So you can buy Heimdallr's Sight. You can sell the Bifrost Shard to change the Heimdallr's Sight at any time. On use, pulse a reveal 4 times over 4 seconds. Reveals enemies. Reveals enemies in stealth and wards. Just to jump in quickly, because I missed this, that means it reveals wards too, so it will be good to counter the Bifrost Shard itself. So that would be like a good counter to characters like Loki or the Morrigan, or yeah, I think that's it for the stealth. Noir, I guess. And I'm not even going to try pronounce this. I'm going to because it's funny. Gala's Flare. Gala Flare. Fire Traveling Flare reveals enemies. So it's like a ward that you shoot. Reveals enemies, travels for up to 5 seconds, up to 44 meters. It explodes and reveals enemies. Its cooldown is longer than Heimdallr's Sight. I guess it's better for, am I going to get ganked? Let me shoot that over there. Arena gets Battle Cry on God Kill or Death, gain 1 stat. Consume all stacks on use, and you get 3% of all stats from items. Plus 3% movement speed. It lasts for 6 seconds, and after 6 seconds 1 stack will fall off, so you can have that up to 30 seconds. Very cool for your arena players. Doesn't look like they have any other options, so hopefully that speeds up the tempo of arena. Not that really needed much tempo speeding up. Assault has meditation has been moved to the Curio slot. Great choice, lets us have more consumables. In future patches we'll provide an option for 0G to purchase that allows players to move this back to consumable slot for full flexibility. That's good because if you're building triple active item, it means that you can still have it in a consumable because consumables aren't as important in Assault. Very cool. Anyway, we get some new items. Rip Talon, 2,500 gold, so probably some good early-ish mid-game item. Not too expensive. Plus 25 attack speed, 10% lifesteal, and 25 basic power. While above 50 health, you get an extra 15% attack, and while below 50%, you get 25% attack damage and 7.5 lifesteal. Will be very good. I feel like this is similar to another item that the mages have, but I can't put my finger on it, so let me know in the comments or whatever. And we also have Warding Chalice. Warding Chalice is the item from Smite 1, 400 gold, and lets you place a ward. The ward lasts 120 seconds, has 2 charges, and refills when you turn to the base. Lovely stuff. I used to love this item, although I think it's good for casual play, bad for competitive. I think it's too expensive for competitive to warrant losing 400 gold. That's a whole mini item, or base item, however you want to say it. Scepter of Dominion has been fixed, and now it's fixed so the stasis actually applies to jungle bosses again. Sanguine's Lash, an unfortunate nerf for our Joust players and Warrior enjoyers. The active damage has been dropped from 10% to 7.5. I think it's still a great item. The aura tick is still there and still popping, but it won't allow you to nuke the fuck out of tanks anymore. Void Shield fixed description to max the intended effect of 30 physical protection. That's great. On to God balances. I'm just checking how many there are. There's a few, but not a lot. Anha's Desert Fury, that's his ult. Increases damage, which is great, by quite a substantial amount. That's 15 base on its start, and goes up by... Is that 1520? Yeah, 1520. So from 65, 90, 115, 140, 165 to 80, 110, 140, 170, 200. And the final damage, that's that last blow of his ult, is up by 25 damage, which is a pretty nice buff for Unha. I felt he was a bit left behind with all these new hunters, but I've seen my boy Charlie make Unha work. Fenris had a aspect buff to his aspect of loyalty. Aspect of loyalty is the one that actually makes a lot of his stuff different. Let me see if I can get it on screen quickly. This is the thing that Unchained gains additional protection scaling and stun duration. Deceiving Howl applies to all allies in the area around him, and that lifesteal heals Fenrir, but the strength it provides is decreased. Brutalize deals less damage, but applies a stacking slow, provides increased protection, and protections persist afterwards. A bit of a mouthful. I think it makes him more of a tank than a damager, if I remember correctly, as you get the prot scaling and stuns. That's good, because I didn't feel Fenrir was as good on his aspect. So all that's done, increase the stun duration by 0.25 seconds and increase the protection scaling by 15%, quite a large amount there. Seething Howl, increase the strength by... That's a strange scaling. It basically, from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to 15, 17.5, 20, 22.5 and 25, meaning that leveling this up isn't as important as it used to be. Quite a nice change there. Means that the base value is the scaling's less, I guess you could say, and increased lifesteal healing from 25% to 30, which is fine. And Seething Howl is his 2 again. You fix the description listing this ability as having higher strength than intended. Okay. There is also a known bug where the Unchained calculated damage formula in a tooltip is incorrect. Using protection instead of protection from items, the actual damage is dealt lower than what is listed. So it's still in the game. Hecate has a buff. A triplicate form, which is a 1, has increased damage by what looks like 10 across the board. Yeah. Fixed an issue where the hex form projectile was doing less damage than intended. Cool. And Open the Gates, which is her ult, has a decreased cooldown. It is now flat 90 rather than when you level it up it would reduce in cooldown. Mulan has had a nerf. You hate to see it. Everyone hates to see Mulan get nerfed, but it was understandable. Her training grounds, which is her passive, the flag that she puts down, has a decreased movement speed from 10% to 5%, and her ult does less damage overall. The base damage is just the arrow, which I think is her last hit. She dashes forward, she does a slam, and then she does the arrow. That's been reduced by quite a lot. It's 10 per level, which means an overall 40 at level 20, which is still fine. I think I more use the ult for utility. It's more that dash forward in CC and then knocking up that you use. The damage is just a nice extra. Mulan doesn't really need extra damage in my opinion. Yorm has had a buff, which I think we'll see how this goes. He seemed to be doing very well early game in Joust and falls off quite quickly. So let's see what they've changed. Increased base health from 525 to 567. That's absolutely fine. Increased health per level from 101.4 to 105.3. I think he needed that. He felt like he died very quickly. And increased base physical protection by from 16.6 to 17.3. Increased physical protection per level 3.1 to 3.2. Very minor, it's only 0.1. Increased base magical from 27 to 28.1, and magic protection per level is 1.56 to 1.62. This is more in line with several other frontline gods, and I feel like that was noticeable. Yorm was very strong early in Joust. You could kind of dive quite easy with him, and having this just makes him balance better. I don't know how he fared in Conquest, so Conquest enjoyers, please let me know. Nemesis has had a nerf across the board, which is interesting because I would get killed by Nemesises and then I would also farm Nemesis. Nemesis I? How do you say it? You tell me. Anyway, her 2, her Slice and Dice, has had decreased center damage, reduced by a significant amount. That's 15 across the board. Just a flat 15. The scaling's still the same. Her 3, her Retribution, that's her shield, has an increased, where you would level it up and it would reduce cooldown, it is now flat 14 seconds. And her Aspect of Justice will now move Nemesis and her target 75% of the way towards the average amount. If you want to know what the Aspect of Justice used to do, I can look that up for us quickly. Aspect of Justice being Divine Judgment no longer does damage in an area or steals protections, but instead moves your and the enemy god's current health 75% of the way towards each other, as long as you have less health than the target. Divine Judgment being your ult. It was great at when you was on low HP, you would just click ult and get some health back basically, rather than all of the protection shred. So there you go. Back to here, we have the Morrigan. She's been fixed. Her 1 had an issue where the ability could stun structures. Wow, I didn't know that was in the game. I bet that made her very strong. But glad that's fixed. If I'd known about it, would have made a video on it. That would have been quite fun. Anyway, Tsukiyomi's had a nerf about time, I think a lot of people were thinking. He's 2, which is his main source of damage, and he's stun. It's the one that swings left, right, and disarms, and then whacks down the middle for a stun. Has decreased swing damage down by 5 across the board. Scaling still the same. And decreased the final damage, or that's the last hit that stuns, by 5 across the board again. So 5 every level. Oh, actually, that's just the base damage is down by 5. Scaling is still the same. My bad. Sun Wukong has had a nerf to his Aspect of Transformation. I'll just bring that up quickly. Aspect of Transformation is 72 transformations, has a reduced cooldown, and locks your animal form until Somersault Cloud is used. Again, Ox will cause Master's Will to knock up. Master's Will being your 2. Tiger form provides a stacking attack speed on hit, so the Magic Cudgel being your 1, and Eagle form causes your other 2 non-ultimate abilities have reduced cooldown, which is your 1 and your 2. that was, instead of having a dash, you basically just got passive buffs. So let's see what they've changed. So they've increased the cooldown from 72 transformations, so from 12 seconds to 14 seconds, and fixed the description to state the raw cooldown value rather than percentage reduction being applied. Lovely, just a simple nerf there. I never really used that aspect, so I wonder if that was popping in Conquest or something. And finally, last but not least, we have Yamoa's aspect buff, aspect of downpour. This is interesting to me because I am about to upload a video where we go monster with Yamoa. So yeah, increased bouncing bubble scaling from 30% to 50%, that's her one. Increased small bubble scaling, that's the bubbles that bounce off the bouncing bubbles, from 15 to 25. And increased River's Rebuke scaling from 70 to 85%. River's Rebuke being her ultimate. Love that. It makes sense because in her aspect you had no reason to use anything but your 2. This now gives you a reason to use your 1 again. So that is very interesting. Anyway, finally, for our last thing of the day, the most important one, is Xbalanque is here. Lovely. I'll try and get some gameplay running in the background of me testing it. Maybe we'll run into that after this, depending on how long these patch notes have gone on for. He's got quite a simple, if I remember correctly, he's got a simple kit. So we'll go over that and I'll see if I have to overlay any of this. Anyway, Xbalanque's general is he's got ranged basic attacks, obviously. His damage type is physical magical, and his scaling type is strength and intelligence scaling, which is fine. His passive is deal damage to enemy gods to gain stacks, and it will either give you strength or intelligence, whichever is higher, is what I understand of that. Unless I'm wrong, correct me. This is exactly how he was in Smite 1, obviously, just fit to have intelligence scaling within there. Branching Bowler is while active, your basic attacks deal additional damage, and when the bowler hits a target, it splits and deals reduced damage. Once again, exact port from Smite 1. I presume that's going to have a mana cost every time he throws it, so we'll have a look at that when we get into game. 2 is his poison darts. You fire 15 dart projectiles in a cone, dealing physical damage and poisoning the enemy. Poisoned enemies repeatedly take physical damage and are slowed, which is, once again, exactly like Smite 1 as far as I can remember. 3 is Rising Jaguar. This was his dash, so dash in the direction you're currently travelling before rising into the air and becoming CC immune. While in the air, you fire darts at all nearby enemies, dealing physical damage. Enemies affected by poison darts take additional damage. So, once again, similar to Smite 1, I can't remember the exact details, but you want a 2 and 3 if you're going for a kill and you use it to get out. The main thing is it still makes you CC immune. We'll get to it in game to see how it feels. Ultimate ability is Darkest of Nights. This was the one that I was most curious about because I felt like this was the one they changed a lot in Smite 1. So I'll read the description and then I'll give my take on it. Shroud enemy gods in darkness, creating an area they cannot see out of. During this time you have increased basic attack range, basic attack projectile speed, attack speed and movement speed. If an enemy god leaves the area, they are affected by a decaying slow. Very interesting, very different from Smite 1. Smite 1, it used to keep them, like the darkness would surround them and they had to stand still on that last tick or they would get slowed. No, stunned. It became so pointless because who cared about the stun that they actually took the stun out and gave, I believe, Sheba a buff across the board. Correct me if I'm wrong, OG Smite 1 players. But the fact that this will now just be a point in the map and then they get slowed if they leave or they just have to fight in darkness, very interesting. Will be fun to kind of play against that, I think. Anyway, we have on the 26th of September, that is in 2 days time, this Friday, for anyone counting. Branching Bowler is no longer a toggle but provides free fires of ability based projectiles. Poison darts requires less hits to deal full damage. Darkest of Night loses existing buffs but resets poison darts and provides increased ability damage. There is a lot there. we'll worry about that when it releases, I think, boys. Anyway, that is it for the patch notes. So yeah, over to you in the studio. Alright, boys, let's jump into a game with Sheba. Now, I've got some really sad news. Before we start, I want to say Sheba's model looks phenomenal. This screen feels really zoomed in. I feel like it needs to come back a notch. If I look at someone like Ulla, I guess he's also zoomed in. I just feel like Sheba's more in your face. I've got some really embarrassing news.
Select your god.
Like some really embarrassing news. So, I just played a game. Oh, dude, I don't want to even tell you. I've just played a game and it was really fun. It was my first game with Sheba. I was trying him out. I was seeing how he was, blah, blah, blah. I didn't record my gameplay at all. It was quite sad because I had a really good matchup. I was against both Yorm and Suki, so nerf Suki buffed Yorm. I was playing Xbalanque, or however you pronounce him. Was having a really good time. It was silly, it was stupid. Turned out I did really good, but I mean, I can show you the match stats at the end of the game or whatever. But that game's gone. You won't ever get to see it. I don't know why the model's not loading, but here we are. Nice little Scylla ditto, Sheba ditto. Only difference is we have Tsukiyomi, they have Odin. I prefer Tsukiyomi in this matchup, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, sorry for messing that up. So I'm a bit disappointed, but you don't get to see my first impressions, but you do get to see me try stuff. I have preloaded this build from the God Builder. The only reason I picked this build over like a normal crit build was because I wanted to try out Rip Talon and give my impressions on that as well. Although I do think a build with crit would probably go significantly harder, especially against an Odin and team. Suki's have been building like a tank, which is pretty interesting. I'm gonna take Aegis, I think, and we're gonna run it. Anyway, let me just kind of rerun what I've already said. Sheba looks glorious in game. I love the leopard. I love the feathers. He feels great. He feels Mayan. I believe he's Mayan. We're taking this Sheba's life. I didn't want a KS. I could have, but I'm a better man. Looks like your Q places where your cursor is, so it can only go so far, which is interesting. And obviously, as Sheba, you want to be doing as much damage to the enemy gods as possible early on, just for that early stack of your passive. Let's see if we can save it. We can't. It's an unfortunate series of events. Just going to early sank here. Obviously, that does extend. Oh shit. No, I'm dead too. Shit. My bad. Okay, anyway. Yeah, Sheba's one. I'll show you in a second, just to show it off. Looks phenomenal. I just hope the capture camera is how good it looks. It looks really good in game. The color way is just amazing, phenomenal. Makes it feel fast. I don't really know what's going on here. My bad. I hope this Scylla doesn't start flaming us. Anyway, yeah. I had this conversation before. I don't know whether you upgrade to 1 or your 2 first. With Sheba, I had this issue in Smite 1. It felt like 2 was good if you're in that face. 1 was just better passive, but that's just my take. We should surely try and steal purple here. Stolen. Oh, good kill, good kill. The ult is something that I still don't get used to. I'm expecting a what's the word? A stun when they leave the darkness, but instead they just get slowed and it doesn't. What happened there? I cancel my 2 with an auto. How interesting. But yeah, do pardon the bad gameplay as I'm still learning. And I'm solo for once, which I don't normally play solo because I don't like this community. Fun fact, I'll be damned if anyone likes this community, to be honest. But so we have Aspect Scylla coming in. Unfortunately, I think she's cooked. We can just wait it out. I quite like to change the ult. I don't know where he is. I know I'm wasting farm as well. We can do this. They dash out. Does that mean they get slowed? That's something for the thing. Here's another notice. Another thing I've noticed is having the shards on cooldown and being able to see that in the thing is really good. Like, obviously, that change kind of already existed. I'm so sorry, Scylla. This is not looking good for us. I can just sang this. Let me see if I can bait something here. I can double health pot. I can stay. What am I talking about? I forgot we didn't use them early because of things that happened. But yeah, I feel like let's just do a quick range check. Yeah, it goes as far as your cursor does, so that's just something to note. We've got a lot of slows on our team. I'll help take damage quickly. Suki's alright at the moment. I'm no longer alright, I'm sick, don't worry. I tried something, I apologise. This has been a game. I much preferred the first game, but whatever. Let me hydrate. So yeah, Sheeble is one of those gods in Smite 1 that I absolutely love. He was like such a momentum monster. It was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I just oh no. Oh no, boys. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting because Suki isn't going tank anymore unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, I would love to try a crit build out on Sheba. I think that would be very pog. But yeah, upgrade 2 because the 2 buffs to 3. Unless you upgrade to 3, I don't really know. It's hard to see without the scaling in this. We gotta stop. Scylla. Can you mute? Yeah, let's do that. You got shell? Apparently not. You can do this. Nice. Oh, and well, I thought I was dead. You gotta be careful because that stun's gonna. Nice movement from Scylla. But yeah, no, I'm really glad Sheba's back in. I think he's a very good basic hunter, if you want to call him basic, because at the end of the day, I don't think he's the most basic hunter in the world. He does feel squidgy would be the word I use here. I feel like I take a lot of damage, but you're also dealing a lot of damage. Which I guess is why double life stealing up would be good. But yeah, look at the damage I do to the minion wave, you know, like, that alone is a lot. Purple's down. I just feel like I'm backing all the time, and maybe that's my fault, but I realised maybe I should have not got Tearfang. See, even if you leave it, it's weird, it's weird. I'm curious if that Scylla's going to come in. She is. And now that we've used that up. That's that. Very fun though. Very fun making his 3 be buffed when you have your 2 on them. Makes it the risk a lot more justifiable is the word I would use. I'm curious to see how this fight goes. I think Scylla's just going to die here. The second I hear him charge that spear, I'm freeing the fuck out of here. And for the first time, I'm having mana issues. I find, obviously in Conquest to be a bit more important, or a lot more important. But I do find that in Joust, you can kind of just keep the 1 on, should you be back in. I shouldn't have upgraded my 3 there. No one took that red buff, that was on me. I pinged it for them, but apologies. Right, we go for Odysseus, and then we become a Scylla Sheba killer. I don't really like Sheba's build, their Sheba. Expa, how do you want to say it? I don't know. I guess I can just auto and get the guys out. But look at that damage I do to him. That'll teach him, eh? But yeah, no, I think he's very fun at the moment. I need to play some more games, obviously. Oh, I just autoed straight into... I need to drop this tower. I do so much to tower, it's crazy. Stacks. I'll kill him anyway because he's too tanky. So we can take red and leave. Apparently they want me to have it. You know what? It makes sense for me to have it. I cannot dispute that. I'm going to just put that there. I know it overlaps with all of our wards, but it was in case. Now I just leave. Uh-oh. Thanks. Dude, it's nice to have a good team, you know, when they come in and help you. But yeah, anyway, just to notice, Sheep's stacks look like down here. Obviously, when that inner circle fills up, you get 1 token. Very nice. And yeah, let's see if we can. You obviously, as Sheba, want to get close to land. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, that. I was hoping they would get Scylla, but that's okay. Let's follow our Scylla. She's doing it. Oh, oh no. Nice, nice. She's not quite out the woodworks, but now that... Oh, dude, this is looking great for our team. Odin over the wall. He's still trying to contest. Unfortunately, Suki just can't quite get in front there. Now Suki's dealing with Shiva, which is a problem for him. I think that nerf is noticeable, you know, and he's 2. He used to blow you up and it would be a problem. It's only, what was it, like 5 damage, 15? I can't remember. But my god, did that do a lot of damage. Anyway, Sheba might have his damage reduced, but at the same time, that's kind of his thing in Joust was... oh, shit. That makes sense. That does make sense. Can put that there. Okay. I only muted that Odin because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear him spamming what VET and the rest. I've got 10 seconds on that. Let's see if we can get the jump on. This guy just trying to take the tower. He is. See if I can get out, which unfortunately I can't. But the team should be able to reverse this, hopefully. Let's look at the Scylla v Scylla matchup. I'm a bit scared Tsukiyomi's not going to make it. Tsukiyomi gets the clean up. Now it's Scylla versus Odin with no BDK. She's not killing the minions, unfortunately. Nice double back, but Odin did not care. Unfortunately, she just needs to kill this minion wave and then do what she can. Let both the minions and her harass the Odin. She is hitting this guy. That is 1,000 health. He looks unfazed. It's another 900. I'm up. See if I can get my ass in here and turn this fight around. You know, I didn't even think that how strong Sheba is, that he can just solo Titan or... Oh, I got stuck. Unlucky. Well, it's a Sheba for a Sheba. That was me. I hit a minion. Now Tsukiyomi comes in. Can Tsukiyomi 1v1? He's looking good at the moment, but Odin's yet to use his burst. Odin with his ult is going to make this significantly harder for Suki. Man, I take back what I said early on about Odin being nice. Hopefully I get size up. Size will... Oh, fuck, it's not size. Kin's Blade. Kin's Blade will help me pierce Odin down a bit more, but... it's not looking good for us at the moment. I'll just hold tab and have a quick look at everyone's stats. Odin is 10-0. Right, this is actually on me. I would not have picked up Rip Talon and got size earlier. Look at that pierce on that. That is phenomenal work. If I actually take this, which I'm going to do, I can now just keep my 1 up constantly. There's someone in there. Let me do this and clear wave. Yeah, done it again. That's okay. I'm not happy, but I'm content. I need size to take on Odin, so that's what we're doing. Now, ideally, we want to kill the other 2 first. I'm also going to ult here. Just let them do the work. Odin did not like fighting me. Do a lot of damage, but I'm not sure it's enough, you know. The team's looking weak. I need them to retreat out of here. We're about to lose here. This Odin is scary, man. He does have 17k gold, and he's not quite full build yet, but doesn't stop him being scary. And our Phoenix is back up. He doesn't realise that BDK does not, or Lost Knight, sorry, does not work how Lost Knight used to. Scylla just needs to clear this wave, which he uses an ult to do. I'm up now, so we can come in and help. Looks like I'm the Odin Slayer here, and I'm not even very good at that, so... interesting. I am good at that. Oh. It's down, unlucky. Now the issue is, I think we're going to lose here. Insane work from Suki, but we've left Shiva unchecked. Shiva half health. Tsukiyomi's eyeing it up. The drop in from Odin, who despite being on 1 HP is still in a commanding position. Scylla prematurely shot everything. Oh no. Can Scylla still? I'm up in 13 seconds. Lost Knight is up. A bold teleport. Are they following? Bieber's followed. I'll just ping. She's gone straight back into... Let me put my darkness up just to help her get out. It's the benefits of a global ult. It looks like they're leaving. No, they're still in this. Sheba is on Lost Knight. I need to contest somewhere. Ain't no way. What a throw from me. I didn't realise Scylla was back up. This is it. It's all or nothing from Suki. Suki now has to stall for 40 seconds because I threw. Suki gets one shot by Scylla ult. Holy fuck. 1,200 damage. What a build. And I think, unfortunately, that is game. Unless Scylla can come through. Anyway, I think crit Shiva is going to be really fun. I think he's going to be tearing up on the Joust map for a little while. Unfortunately, I did not showcase myself very well in the end there, but that is fine. I have one more chance to do something. Just got to clear this wave out. Don't worry, boys. I will. Okay, I'm gonna say this now as an honest man. All right. I always take Devo's Gauntlet in Joust. I don't think it's the wave. I think it's too hard to get stacks when you're sharing. I think it's a really good item in vanilla, in Conquest. That's why I just called vanilla. Act like I'm playing Minecraft. But yeah, no. Suki gets that kill. It puts us on the upper foot here. With a bit of teamwork, we can take Odin out because I'm looking at killing tanks right now. So the problem is Scylla needs to go first, and then I'm just gonna leave. Everyone's full HP. This should be winnable. I've chunked Odin a lot. Odin trying to preserve that. Poison does get it. Oh my god, that's so much damage from the poison. If he can tank for like 1 second, I can probably take this. But yeah, anyway, this game has been nuts. It's a huge back and forth. I'm surprised none of the Shivas are top damage. I'm not surprised I'm not top damage, but the other Shiva is objective monster. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ward up here. I need to help the team really, but I really want that Lost Knight for the counter fight. He should die here. That's his jump. If that's his jump, that's Odin down. We lost Suki in a trade. We're up right now. Our Phoenix is up. Scylla's missed everything. Gotta be careful because her ult is still gonna just one-shot me. And that's game! Let's go, boys! Let's go! What a turnaround, wow! Anyway, that's Tsukiyomi, everybody. That's not Tsukiyomi. No. That is Xbalanque, everybody. Don't say easy. It was a phenomenal game. Huge back and forth. Anyway, this is the player damage stats at the end. As you can see, phenomenal work, right? Xbalanque just hits so hard, but that's the trade-off of not having like a proper clear. He is a god killer, which is why I think he shines so much in Joust. Problem is, one stun lock and he's kind of dead. Anyway, he's great. He's going to run rampant in Joust, and I've had a great time playing him, and I'm glad he is back. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Seeing the wards place go up every round is phenomenal as well. And thank you for watching. It's been great. I hope you enjoyed these long form videos, less editing for me. Hopefully I can get more videos out for you. Anyway, love you all. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.